let's talk about Drake Bell. For those who may not know, actor from Drake and Josh. He's been on some other things as well. And now he's doing music as well.
Yeah.
So how did that relationship happen, or how did that start up to where you started performing with him?
It's kind of a weird story. My good friend Carlos, who you've met, we met, I guess, earlier this year, and we had just been Instagram mutuals for a long time. And I kind of just expressed my need for someone to manage my life. I was like, I can't, I'm really unorganized. I'm trying to make good music. If you like anything that I'm doing, like, help me, please. And Carlos was like, yeah, like, I really like your music. So Carlos and I started playing together a lot and hanging out, and he was just invested sort of in my project that I had kind of envisioning for myself for the future. And I released a single in April, I want to say, Fumble, which was like the first single of kind of I'm trying to like spearhead like a very deliberate artist sound and like Chloe B. So Fumble was kind of like the first one of those. And we did a little single release party. And Carlos used to do the tour managing for Drake because Drake lives in Mexico like full time.
Yes.
And plays mostly there. And so he came through to the single release party. He liked what he heard. We played Found a Way. It was a good time. And then we just like got in a couple dates, and we were kind of just bopping around to a couple cities. And yeah, it was a great time. And we finished kind of like our leg of the tour with him in New York, which was awesome because I'm from New York. So it was a nice little homecoming, and it was at City Winery, and it was the biggest show that I had done with him. And it was very sweet and full circle because I was like a big Drake and Josh girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was quite cool.
Did you tell him that when you met him?
I mean, I tried to be cool, you know, like I don't want to be like, oh my God, it's Drake from Drake and Josh. I was trying to be cool.
No, totally.
I think it's evident. I played with him I was on the lineup with him at a NostalgiaCon, which is kind of just like Disney Nickelodeon cartoon nostalgia from the 2000s. And I mean, I couldn't have been like a bigger dork. Like SpongeBob, Tom Kenny was there, and I'm like an avid SpongeBob fan. And I was wearing my my Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy shirt.
Okay.
And then Tom Kenny came on stage. It was awesome. So I think it's pretty clear that like I am a Nickelodeon kid.
Okay.
But I didn't make it abundantly clear to Drake.
I
wasn't like, by the way, I love Drake, because everyone loves Drake and Josh. You know?
Yeah.
No one doesn't.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how was that actually like performing? Because y'all actually did like songs together too, right? Were you just on the bill with him, or but you actually played something with him too, right? Like
yeah. That kind of just precipitated from when he came to the first like single release that we did. I just like happened to know a bunch of songs that he likes. So I asked him to just play the Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, which is a Billy Joel song. And he was down. So then it was just kind of like, okay, we know we can collaborate in some capacity on a whim. And so that happened I don't know how many other times. But in New York, we did another Billy Joel song. And that was like very, very full circle, because like I was just such like a piano singer kid when I first started playing piano. I was like really into like Billy Joel, Sarah Bareilles, like all those piano heavy people. And that was like the same time that I was watching Drake and Josh. So it was just cool.
It was like all the passions kind of coming together.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, no, that is really cool. And you're a monster on the keys, by the way.
I appreciate you. You're my most devout student. And actually my only student.
Yeah, no, I've talked about this before on this podcast, how if I see somebody that's like amazing at something, I'm like, yo, teach me your ways. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
I applaud that.
And so, yeah, you've shown me some things, and so that's been amazing. How did you grew up playing keys essentially?
Yeah. That was my first instrument, and I played classical piano as a young kid. And then I did that kind of until I got bored. I started playing oboe when I was 8, I guess. And those two kind of, I don't know, like they tapered, my interest sort of tapered off with piano because it just, I started singing vaguely.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, I want to understand how to just play popular music and accompany myself.
Right.
And I didn't really have that same understanding like I do now, where like my understanding of the piano was very much based on like reading sheet music.
Okay.
And I felt like I had a good ear, but I was like very trained.
Right.
And then when I started doing just like rock band stuff in middle school, I was like, I just want to be able to do this like really easily. So then I just kind of abandoned doing like, you know, all the Debussy and Mozart stuff. And I was like, okay, we're going to reduce it down to Adele.
Yeah.
And then it was great though, because I had like a lot of foundation and like technique before I started doing all the pop stuff.
Yes.
And then I learned kind of just the pop brain or whatever, you know, just popular music, how the patterns and whatnot. And then I kind of stayed in that world until college. I studied jazz.
Nice.
Yeah.
So several different kind of backgrounds and genres and things kind of blending together, which I feel like you kind of do in your music too.
Yeah. For better or worse. I mean, I definitely have a lot of influences, which I appreciate about myself, and I appreciate that about other people too. I like when people and artists have like a wide catalog, but it also kind of can make it hard to reduce yourself down to a niche.
Sure.
But yeah, I like a lot of music. My first like favorite band was Green Day. But I was like playing oboe. So I feel like that like it gave me very little direction of where to go. But like now I do have a big catalog of music. So that's nice.
No, absolutely. And you've done like a lot of dueling pianos and piano cover gigs and things like that, correct?
Yeah, that's like what I do professionally for the most part when I'm not writing for myself or someone else.
But I wanted to bring that up because I feel like that really gave you a foundation for the moment when, you know, you're playing with Drake Bell and you can ad lib songs. You can just, you know, pull out any cover basically and, you know, and play with him. And so that kind of made you ready for that moment essentially.
Definitely. Yeah. I was lucky also, just my mom honestly just had a very like pretty like deep catalog of music that she would listen to. And so I just knew a lot of music growing up and like had a good memory of it. And then I just started working in like later in high school. I would say I just started doing like restaurant gigs, which I still do to some capacity. And I just would learn songs and it was just easy practice, you know? So yeah, I now fortunately am able to kind of just like call things on the spot and do whatever, not whatever, but you know, if I kind of know, that's what I tell people all the time, because people will come up to the piano and be like, what can you play? I'm like, do you want me to go alphabetically through a list? I'm just like, if I kind of know it, I can play it. That's basically my threshold.
Which is an amazing skill to have.
Thank you.
So it's awesome.